Hello, everybody on YouTube. Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Lewis, as I always say in my other videos and stuff. Today I'm officially back. Apologies if it's taken a long time for me to try and do a video after a long year hiatus. I only did videos. The time I did videos was in 2022, and I didn't make any for the next year or so. But today I'm officially going to be making some more content for 2024 for you guys to enjoy. So fingers crossed and stay tuned for more future videos. But anyway, onto the sort of like the video in hand. We are going to be talking about the new Doctor Who. Yes, and I have my notes here, so I'm going to read out some facts for you guys. So we're going to start with Ncuti Gatwa. Now, I'd never heard of this actor until now, obviously because you might know him from a series called Sex Education, where he played a guy called Eric Ifong, if I've got that correct. Because in my recent video, I did a video about Doctor Who. I had to use that as a caption because I couldn't remember the character's name. But yeah, so obviously we also know that he's been in other things. He was in a film with Margot Robbie and Ryan Gosling, which I will get on to very, very soon. The next part of this is if you guys remember a joke that both the actors made about that Ncuti was going to be playing the new Doctor, which the BAFTAs was hosted by Richard Ayoade, and he introduced those two actors on the stage, and Amy Lou Wood said the joke, and obviously Ncuti knew about it.
And here to win back your trust are the 1-2 punch of Sex Education's Amy Lou Wood and Ncuti Gatwa, your new Doctor Who.
Because you said that, it kind of stole my joke, which was going to be knock knock.
Who's there?
Doctor.
Who?
It's him.
So we're now going to mention Barbie because there is actually a pink TARDIS standing outside in another place. It was actually used for the premiere of Barbie. Yes, because Barbie is pink, and she lives in a Barbie's world. So obviously, if you hear that song, "Come On Barbie, Let's Go Party," that came out in the 90s. I think it was the 90s with a group called Aqua. If you did not know that, we're not talking about Barbie. Sorry. On to the next bit. What did I think the Doctor would be like when I saw him? Well, when I first saw him in the episode from last year, I was quite impressed with it. I know a lot of other people did not like the episode because they kind of hated it, because obviously that's both of the characters were singing for an unknown reason. But I know a lot of people hate it, and I know someone else does. But obviously he's a very intelligent person, and I think he's doing well, and I'm really looking forward to seeing some more of him in the next couple of episodes coming out in May. How did I feel when I watched him? I found it quite good. Yeah, this was really good. The first episode was fantastic. I really enjoyed it. I love the story between Ruby's character and the Doctor. Obviously, they first met Christmas. I think it was Christmas Eve or Christmas Day or New Year or whatever. And this is when he was wearing. If you remember the trailer, you see him wearing a skirt because he's Scottish. Because the actor is Scottish. He's like dancing around, twirling around, and obviously he approaches Ruby, and he sees her glass drop off the table, and he helps hold it up, But yeah, that was quite good. So yeah, I felt really happy about that. Now we're going to talk about the episode. So the episode talks about, if I can remember rightly, this was about when Ruby was a baby, and she was left outside the church where they took her in and they named her Ruby. So the episode was called "The Church on Ruby Road" because the Christian community, well, obviously the church, they named her that. So she was left on the doorstep by somebody, by an unknown stranger who we did not know. And she went on to talk to Davina McCall, telling her about her experiences, about not being able to find her birth parents, trying to find her parents, but they just couldn't find anything. Time frame of Ruby. Yeah, so obviously, as I said, she was a baby, but she was snatched by these little creatures called goblins. So they like snatched her and they took her on board the ship, and there was this gigantic creature that was nearly going to eat her because obviously the creatures, they like to feed on their victims. Obviously, this doctor is a happier doctor, so yeah, I mean, he was quite happy and he was quite not chatty, but he had a lot of good stuff to say. David Tennant actually mentioned something about it. This was actually starting from the trauma of the Time War, and that this new Doctor was free of the of trauma from finding complications of what was going on. So yeah, the plot. So the plot, it follows the goblins. The goblins who obviously took Ruby as a baby, and obviously there's this funny thing about the Goblin King that's going around saying he looks like Jabba the Hutt, the character from Star Wars, who lives in this massive palace. For those of you who don't know Star Wars, yeah, obviously had a character called Tenacious B. Crumb and Princess Leia from that iconic poster. We're not talking about Star Wars, we're talking about Doctor Who here. I like the special effects as well, the special effects that they used on the creatures and everything else, because obviously Disney wanted to own Doctor Who, so they had enough money to make a big budget for the episodes, for the episode. Sorry. Yeah. Expectations for the new series. Really looking forward to it. There's a few pictures you see online. We see one for a future episode which is going to be set in the 60s. There's going to be one of them in Georgian times where the Doctor had long black hair and he's wearing some sort of leotard or something. It's a bit like that show Bridgerton, something like that. But I'm really looking forward to it, so it's going to be good. Future villains. I must mention. There's a character called Mrs. Flood who is in an episode played by Anita Dobson. Now, those of you who don't know, Miss Flood was the next door neighbour of Carla, who was the carer who looked after all those children. She adopted them and she cared for them, but she had no chance of being a carer, someone who wanted to look after them. But also, her front door actually looked like the TARDIS. Like the actual front door of the TARDIS, which is very interesting. So yeah, we do have a great villain coming very very soon. Called this is a RuPaul's Drag Race star who has joined Doctor Who, and I think she's going to play. I think he or she, whatever, he is going to play a great villain. So it's really good. I love the picture of him. So it's going to be fantastic. Is there any people I would like to see return? Well, I'd like to see some of the future villains, like some of the old legendary classic creatures and the characters, like the villains in those episodes from the very old period, from all the classic Doctors all the way up to the present. So I would like to see the Cybermen return, which I think would be fantastic. The Daleks would be brilliant. The Autons, obviously they are mannequins that stand in a shop window, because in 1973, with John Pertwee's era, They were just like the classic dummies. They had hair and they had these kind of weird looking outfits and stuff. But also featured in the 2005 episode starring Christopher Eccleston as the Ninth Doctor when he meets Rose, played by Billy Piper. I like to see the Sycorax. So yeah, I think it would be really good to see the Sycorax because I think that was in the Christmas special from 2008. The Weeping Angels would be fantastic because they have featured in so many episodes of Doctor Who. They featured in the Jodie Whittaker era. They featured in David Tennant. There is one particular episode called Blink, where the Doctor is instructing people to not look into the eyes of the Weeping Angels because if you blink, they will get to you. They will, trust me. But yeah, what was weird about the Jodie Whittaker one is when they were standing on the roof and there was this person who was in charge of them, like controlling the Weeping Angels to get to the Doctor, and she was becoming a Weeping Angel herself, which I thought was a bit strange for some reason. But also the other one would be fantastic is the Sea Devils, who are also called the Silurians because they are part of the race of the Sea Devils. Because the Silurians also featured in Matt Smith's one, which is in one of the episodes that had Matt Smith as the 11th Doctor. Yeah, because they actually featured in 1973 with John Pertwee, where the Master controls the Sea Devil to try and get to the Doctor and Joe, played by Katie Manning. Yeah, so that's gonna be good. And the latest news I've heard is that Millie Gibson is leaving. I mean, for only just one season. I don't understand that. Yeah, that she is leaving, only doing one season of Doctor Who. So then somebody else is going to take over from Millie Gibson as the next companion for the Doctor. And this is going to be an actress who starred in the Star Wars series called Andor. I don't know her name, but on specific the information, I was a bit like, huh? Really? Millie Gibson she's not going to come back, but maybe she might come back in a cameo role, maybe in the next series of Doctor Who, maybe in the near future. We don't know. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please remember to like this video, subscribe, comment if you can, if you want to, and don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, and also share the video with your friends and everything. And on that note, I'm gonna say goodbye now. But I hope you really enjoyed the video. And I shall see you guys again soon in the next video, hopefully, which will probably be the week after. But also let me know comments about what you think about what I talked about, and also the news that Millie Gibson was leaving. What do you guys think about that? Do you share my opinion that it's quite sad news that Millie Gibson is deciding to leave after only doing one season, which I find a bit confusing, to be honest with you. Anyway, as I said, I'm going to go now. Hope you enjoyed the video, and goodbye.